Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. On March 22nd, 2017, the same date that the headlines were dominated by the news out of London, the terrorist attack, Khalid Massoud, that same day in the news, there was another bizarre story of a white supremacist traveling to New York City with the intention of killing black people, and reportedly he killed one man. This happened March 22nd, a date written 22/3 in most parts of the world. They said the man who did this was a white supremacist named James Harrison Jackson. And again, the date was March 22nd, 22/3. Please notice the name James Harrison Jackson sums to 223, just like white supremacist. The name James in Satanic Gematria also sums to 223. In case you've never seen my work on LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers and all the 223 symbolism surrounding that team, please check it out. I showed last year how before the NBA season began, the Cleveland Cavaliers would win the NBA championship, and one of the major clues was the death of Flip Saunders, who was born on February 23rd, 2/23, in Cleveland just before the city began. 223, very special number to Freemasonry, Masonic 223. Where this number 223 comes from is mathematics of the circle. A circle has 360 degrees. If you subtract 137 degrees, you get 223. And the reason you subtract 137 is because it has to do with the Freemason logo. They have the compass, like you used in geometry class, with a big G in the middle, and then a square beneath. The compass is set at 47 degrees, and the square is at 90 degrees. Add those degrees together, it sums to 137, which is the 33rd prime number. The big G represents 33, number of Freemason obsession. The reason for the compass at 47 degrees and the right angle of 90 degrees, the Freemasons have Euclid's 47th problem about how to establish a perfectly square foundation, meaning it has 90-degree angles. See my work on the Freemason compass and square. 47 is also a number that represents time. The tropics that measure the solstices are 47 degrees apart. They tell us the sun's 93 million miles away. Square and compass, the Freemason logo in Gematria, sums to 93. But anyway, it's those 137 degrees that subtract from 360, the degrees in a circle, that bring us to 223. So anyway, the Freemasons believe in divide and conquer, order out of chaos. Here's divisive propaganda that has an agenda to provoke the masses. They want to provoke the masses so that they can justify building the police state, more body armor, more higher-powered weapons for police. Follow my work from last summer, the Blue Lives Matter agenda, about equipping police to deal with more and more threats that they're facing, domestic terrorism, Black Lives Matter. All of this factors in. More and more bizarre stories, and when you know the language of Gematria, you see how they're all being contrived by the numbers. In London, on this date, 223 coded into the attack. On the big red helicopter that was front and center of news coverage, the Freemason compass and square that we're talking about was right on the side of that helicopter. See the video I put out earlier today. They said this man was 28 years old. The word man equals 28. 28's a perfect number. His initials, JHJ, have gematria of 28. There's a number of really interesting things coded into his name. They said this man, James Harrison Jackson's from Baltimore, one of the blackest cities in the United States of America. Interesting that a white supremacist would want to kill black people and he would travel to another city to do it. Said the man that he killed was named Timothy Caughman, 66 years old. Apparently it was Assistant Chief William Aubrey who handled this incident. Interesting that the name William Aubrey sums to the same thing as James Harrison Jackson, 79. We were talking about 223. I want you to see this real quick. The synagogue of Satan has gematria of 223. Very important number from the Bible. They say the first printed Bible's on March 22nd, 22/3. Anyway, in the end of the Bible, the 66th book, Revelation, it says the false Jews will rule in the end times. Their name is the synagogue of Satan, which has 79 and 223. Numbers coded into this same individual here, James Harrison Jackson, who turned himself into William Aubrey. Again, 66th book of the Bible, the victim, Timothy Caughman, 66 years old. The name of the attacker, James Harrison Jackson, also sums to 317, which is the 66th prime number. Again, the 66th book of the Bible references the synagogue of Satan, this 223 connection. The victim, the 66-year-old, many interesting things coded into his name. 227. 22 divided by 7 gives us pi, having to do with cycles and circles. Again, all of these mathematics come back, or these numbers within the language come back to the mathematics of this world. We live in a world of cycles and circles and seasons and continual propaganda by the numbers. The name Timothy Caughman also sums to 74, like Masonic, like killing, like white supremacist. This man killed by a white supremacist. Timothy also has gematria of 38, like killing, like death, like murder. Timothy also has gematria of 118, also like death. Timothy 79, we just talked about 79, connected to murder. What I noticed in the reporting is they had this man wearing a Golden State Warriors hat. And this is what we see time and time again. Contrived propaganda, over-the-top narratives. We know that racism's real. We know that people kill over the things they hate, which unfortunately is race, something that's been programmed into us. But we know so often in this propaganda they code imagery that's also connected to the world of rigged sports. And, they show this man wearing a Golden State Warriors hat. Perhaps he's a Golden State Warriors fan, or perhaps this is also symbolism in connection with the upcoming NBA playoffs. We've seen this time and time again, the divisive propaganda synced up with the sports leagues. Trayvon Martin, LeBron James, shining example of this. So are a number of other stories we've covered on this channel. So just wanted to get the word out about this story, bizarre story sure to provoke many, person who says he just wants to travel to a city to murder people of a certain race. But realize, this story is manufactured, and as always, manufactured by the numbers. So I'm going to put out another quick video after that. Be sure to check it out. We're going to talk about Genesis 3:22, the 78th verse of the Bible in the King James Version and in the New International Version, 3:22 coded right into it. Of course, March 22nd, 1457, the original credited publishing date of the Bible. These stories, they're not as far away as you'd think. The Bible's been used by people all throughout history to murder others who are different from them. So have other spiritual texts. Until next time, Truth Seeker.